So these are my absolute favorite videos to make, and it is outrageous that I have not done a wrap up since February. So let's get into the books I read in March, April, and May. Altogether, I was able to read 15 books. I'm just gonna kind of quickly go in order, and I won't get too far in depth because I could be talking here all day. But I will give y'all my star rating and some of my general thoughts on the book. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. In March, I completed Project Hail Mary. Now, if you've been on Book Talk, BookTube, the internet at all, you've probably heard quite a bit about this book, especially since they just made it into a full-length motion picture. I don't really have any hot takes for this one. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I do have a little bitty mini vlog on my channel about my thoughts comparing the book and the movie, but needless to say, the movie does not do the book justice. So if you like the movie, I think you would enjoy the audiobook far more. I kind of tandem read half on my Kindle and half with audio, and I thought the audio was amazing. If you don't know what this book is about, it is about an astronaut who wakes up with amnesia and is just alone on a spaceship. His crew is dead and he has no idea what he is doing in space. And then the story just kind of unravels from there. But it is really well done, 5 stars. Highly recommend. Next, I read I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. Now, I had never heard of this author before. I kind of just came across this book really randomly. I don't even remember where I heard about it, but I think I was able to get it on a BookBub deal for like $2.99. This book is about a office worker who is at odds with her entire office. People think she's weird. People don't really like her. One day, something happens with her computer, and she's all of a sudden able to read everyone in the office's emails, instant messages, and pretty much everything they're saying about her. Now, there is a small romance element because there is like a new HR guy who's kind of the sunshine to her grumpy, but I think it's very much a subplot. This is mostly a literary fiction with her coming to terms with some of the mistakes of her past and kind of healing from some of her trauma. It's done very cutely. I really enjoyed like the more satirical elements, and I gave it a 5 stars. I ate it up. I finished it really quickly, so very much recommend. After that, I read The Mad Wife, which is kind of a psychological thriller. I don't know how much I can say without giving stuff away, but it's set in the 50s, and this woman is kind of cracking under the pressure to be the perfect cookie cutter wife. I didn't find it to be so much a thriller as a historical fiction. That's not to say that it wasn't still very much a page turner and very enjoyable. I do recommend. I think I gave it a 4.25. After that, I read Blood Over Bright Haven. I don't know what took me so long because, as y'all know, I am an M.L. Wong stan, and this book was very different from Sword of Kaigen, and so it took me a second to adjust, but at the same tone, I don't think it disappointed. It definitely didn't disappoint. I still think about some of the themes and the characters, and I really enjoyed it. I know it does get a little bit of hate because the main character is so unlikable, but I felt like her character really developed throughout the story, and I do not understand at all. Y'all better hope people in real life are able to grow and change like she is in this book. And I gave it a 5 stars. This one was so good. I really enjoyed it. Finally, in the month of March, I read Next of Kin. I think I just randomly picked up on Kindle Unlimited because I kind of wanted a palate cleanser after reading Blood Over Bright Haven, which was really heavy. And this did not disappoint. I thought the storyline was so interesting. It is about an aunt who leaves her nephew in her car, and he ends up passing away. And then sort of the family drama and court case that happens afterward. Now, the only reason this is a 4 and not a 5 star is because I did find some parts of the book a bit repetitive, especially when it came to like the sisters' dynamics. There were some parts I wish I could get a little more, and some parts I was like, okay, we get it, we don't need this much. But overall, I highly recommend, especially if you like courtroom drama. I think you'll eat this up. And ultimately, I gave it a 4 stars. Now, as good as March was with 3 5 stars, April fell just a little bit flat. I was not able to get any 5s. But that's okay, because I did still have some solid reads. First, I finished No Country for Old Men by McCormick McCarthy. I won't say too much here because I do have a podcast episode with my dad coming out. When it's up, I will link it down below. Please be on the lookout because we are going to get in depth in this book. This was actually one of his favorite books that he wanted me to read specifically for the podcast. I will go ahead and give you my star rating here, though. I gave it 3 stars. I'll hold all opinions, though. I'll let y'all wait till that comes out. Then I read Slanting Towards the Sea, and this has been on my TBR, I want to say, since last year. But I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much completely picked it up for the cover, but was very pleasantly surprised by the story inside. This is more of a literary fiction as you follow our main character Lydia as she learns to kind of let go of the past. There is a lot of drama and a lot of situationship kind of going on between her and her ex-husband. So it's kind of her learning to move on and learning to let go. I ended up giving this one a 4-star. Honestly, I think it just suffered a little bit because of what I expected going in. I expected it to be much more light and airy and romantic, but it was very kind of heavy and sad. So that could be on me. But anyway, I highlighted a lot of passages. I thought it was very well written. At first, I didn't think I liked the ending, but then after I thought about it, I was like, no, I guess that is pretty solid. So anyway, 4 stars. And I think if you are a literary fiction girly and you like something a little heavy, definitely pick it up. But if you're like me and you kind of just want something quick and fun and beachy, this was not it. Then for my book club, I went ahead and read This Story Might Save Your Life. Now, it's kind of funny how we fell on this book because our book club was kind of split between half wanting a thriller and half wanting a romance. I was like, hold on, let me try to find a thriller with romance in it. And that's how I kind of came across this book. Now, I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. So I ended up giving it a 3.5. I thought there was a lot of fun parts. However, I will say I didn't quite love where the book went. I liked the journey. It was a fun time. I think you could probably still enjoy it. I just didn't like where the destination that we ended up was. The ending just wasn't for me. After that, I finished Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Now, this was a recommendation from my dear sister, Holly. She thought I would like it as like a cozy fantasy, and I did enjoy it. However, with the Brandon Sanderson, like Cosmere kind of books, the only thing that gets me is it's like the Hoyd stuff. And this is not going to make sense if y'all have not read Brandon Sanderson, but basically all his standalones, I guess, are kind of connected from this character Hoyd, who to my understanding like travels in between the different planets. And it's just a lot of backstory, and I just always feel like I'm missing something because I haven't read that many Brandon Sanderson books, but I digress. To me, this book definitely worked as a cozy fantasy. However, I felt like if you go in wanting a lot of action and drama, this probably is not the book for you. But ultimately, I gave it a 3.75 stars. And finally, I read The Poet Empress. Oh my goodness. When I tell y'all this book wrecked me, I was not expecting it. I literally just downloaded it off Kindle Unlimited because I just didn't feel like sticking to my TBR. To be honest, I just didn't feel like sticking to my TBR anymore. I just wanted to try the first couple chapters. But I devoured this book within like 48 hours, which for me and my reading speed is crazy. Is it my favorite book in the world? No. But I think it was very fresh and very different. There are quite a bit of trigger warnings you need to check because it's not a cutesy book. No, not at all. But it's basically about a poor village girl who leaves home in the hopes of becoming one of the emperor's concubines so that she can kind of better her family situation. But this is not your regular degular emperor. No, this is a evil warlord who ends up taking her as his bride. And I will leave the rest there, but I definitely gave it a 4.75 stars. Finally, for May, I read Warbreaker, another Holly recommendation, and we will be doing a book swap video for more about this one. Now, the issues I had with it were kind of just my general Brandon Sanderson issues. It's just like, I will say his worlds are very creative and very interesting, but sometimes it can feel a little bit info dumpy. But yeah, overall, I think this is my favorite book I've read by him. I think Trust of the Emerald Sea is my favorite book I've read by him, but probably my second favorite. And I gave it a 4 stars. There were a lot of parts I really enjoyed. So, recommend if you're a Brandon Sanderson stan. I think you'd like this one. Then I needed a palette cleanser because Warbreaker is a thick boy. So I read Dear Debbie for a quick, fun thriller. My sister read this and recommended it. She said it was really fun, and I completely agreed. I think it's one of my favorite Freedom McFadden books. I gave it a 4.5 stars. Highly recommend. I'll let you go in blind, because that's what I did. Then I read The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, and this was everything I hoped it would be and more. I love this type of sarcastic, humorous writing style. This book isn't by any means like very epic. It's actually very cozy, but I just ate it up. I love the humor. I was giggling for so many parts. I highlighted so many scenes. I just loved it. If you don't know what it's about, it's kind of like Hermione fanfic vibe. Yeah, it's kind of like our villain needs healing and our FMC is like the best of the best healer. So he is able to persuade her to assist him with this disease he can't get rid of. It's supposed to be incurable. And it kind of just goes from there. It is so cute, so heartwarming. I need book 2 to come out like tomorrow. I gave it 4.75. I loved it. Then I read Red City by Mary Lou, and I won't lie, this one fell a little bit short for me just because my expectations were a little too high, I think. And it was kind of pitched to me as like a Romeo Juliet retelling, but I just didn't get that. Like, I just feel like it didn't land for me completely in that way. I definitely still recommend, definitely still enjoyed it, and will probably pick up book 2. I just wouldn't go in if you are wanting primarily romance. But if you want a crazy gang war between underground syndicates, recommend. This one's for you. And finally, I was able to read The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. This was so light, so fun. It gave Bridgerton, it gave Jane Austen, it gave everything I needed it to. And it's only 100 pages. So if you need like a quick book recommendation for something fun, easy, very fast, it was 5 stars for me, and I highly recommend. All right, that is everything that I've been reading since March. I'm sorry I've been a little MIA lately. My baby girl started walking, and let's just say she's been keeping me very busy, but I'm going to get back to doing my wrap-ups and TBRs. Y'all stay tuned because I will be posting my summer TBR here soon. I know summer is going to be kind of hectic and all over the place, so I kind of just made a giant list of like 40 to 50 books that I really kind of want to get to, but also allow myself to very much mood read. So please look for that video. I will be posting that one soon after this one, and I will see y'all next time.